All right, folks, this video I wanted to talk a little bit about setups to get decent gaming performance at 1080p. Let's just assume, hey, you've got a 144 hertz monitor, and that's your baseline that you want to hit. So I've got a few GPUs I punched in, not necessarily at the low end, but they are somewhere, near the bottom of my collection, we'll say. I've got a lot of other cheaper graphics cards, but I haven't played as many rounds with them as, say, this 2060. So all kinds of 2060s in here to take a look at. Let's just open one up here. So, hard to tell you guys, hey, there's going to be so many people probably look at this, going to have different CPUs. Maybe we'll pull up a few different ones here, or you can check out the site. But, last year, a decent CPU would have been the i7-12700F. So let's see how that pairs with the 2060 Super. And, of course, yeah, I like my own videos. So you can see starting off 130, 133 by the end of the game. So, this is decent, right? If you want to play 1080p, and this is DX12, no shadows, really good picture quality, right? But you're not hitting that 144. Does it matter? It might to some of you. And if you wanted this, it's not going to work out so great. Now, a lot of you probably more interested in performance low. And let's just look at the more affordable RTX 2060 12 gig. And I'm sure I probably like this video too, because I always go through and, nope, I didn't like it. Let's like it now. So performance low is just, ridiculous, right? This is one of those more CPU bound settings. And you can just see how ridiculously high that FPS is. So if this was your goal for this, you could, have a 200 hertz monitor and be pretty happy, right? Now, 1080p competitive. Here's a weaker CPU. This will be also somewhat CPU bound, though some aspects of it will be more graphics intensive. So you see 247, so another good setting. This used to be one of the most popular settings on YouTube for this, right? So 2060, for the most part, folks, it's going to get it done with 1080p. Now, I did make this comparison video. Let's see what 1080p, 1440p. This is a video worth checking out if you haven't seen it. Yeah, I liked the video. 4 different settings of FortNite. So I played each one of these graphics cards, 4 different settings. And it looks like I used the 12-7100. So this is an older video because I don't own any of that hardware anymore. Everything on here except maybe the power supply has been sold. So I must be rambling away there in that part of the video. So 1080p competitive with these different graphics cards. You saw how high the 2060 12 gig was. You can obtain pretty decent settings with just a GTX 1660, which I'm surprised I didn't feature in this. There's an RTX 2060 with a weaker CPU. The 2060 Super, so you can see how these all compare in the 3060, which, evidently is quite a bit better than the 2060 Super is. So that may, I don't have it, but that may nail all the settings that you guys would want to see. Now, of course, we don't ever do like DX12 Epic. It's always with no shadows, right? So I'm just trying to get this thing to pop to the next one. I know there's a timeline on here, but for whatever reason doesn't seem to be moving over. Okay, 1080p Epic, no shadows. So you can see, not going to get it done. Barely gets it done here. 2060 Super doesn't get it done by the end of the game. And then the 3060 starts off weak, but does get there, right? So two graphics cards here that potentially could help you guys nail down 1080p Epic no shadows. All right, so that was looking at mainly we were looking at 2060, and then we kind of took a tangent with some other ones. Let's jump over to a 3050. So you can imagine this is probably not going to get it done. But depending on what you use it for, like, let's just show you this one. If you have a really awesome CPU like is shown in this video, you can see we're already at 400 FPS. And I'll just fast forward. Hey, I never liked this video. 389, right? So CPU bound. This CPU is awesome and pretty much, it's most of the reason why the FPS is so high. I only finished 15th there. Bummer. So that's really like the high end that you're going to get with the, pretty much one of the best CPUs out there, right? Now, if you were to combine this with a Pentium, is it still playable at those same settings? And you're going to see some lag and some other things, but it does almost hit that 144, right? So potentially you could have a rather cheap setup with this Pentium. I think it's a G7400 and the 3050. Of course, the next go round with Pentiums, they'll be a little bit better, but for the most part, not the ideal CPU. Gonna have more hiccups with this game. Trying to find something else in here. A CPU more likely that people are gonna buy, and let's just check out 1080p competitive settings here. I want to make sure I'm still recording. Yes, we are. Okay. So this gets it done. Hey, I didn't like the video. Let me make sure I like my video. So if you like the 1080p competitive, you could get it done with 3050 and an i5-12600. Now, let's jump over to so this was the 1660. We saw some examples of this one already. Now, jumping up to, I don't know, I do have the 4060 Ti, but we probably don't have any real examples at 1080p yet. Yeah. So I can't really show you that one. That's $400. Not really, worth the money. 3070, which is actually a 3070 Ti is very comparative to the 4060 Ti. And so the 3070 might be more comparative to a 4060 when that comes out. But let's just look at the 3070 and 1080p settings so you can get an idea what you would hit with that. So right off the bat, another really good CPU. 1080p competitive settings. And where is our FPS at, folks? There it is. So you could get it done here. Oh, that's the Ti, folks. I'm sorry. You kind of grabbed the wrong one. But that would be very similar to the 4060 Ti right there. Performance low, this is going to be ridiculous numbers here as well. let that play out for a moment. Yeah, so you can see you're just going to hit all these ridiculously high numbers with that. So is there a epic no shadows? Okay, here you go. Well, this is the TI, and basically the same thing as the 4060 Ti in a lot of aspects, except it uses more power. And you can see, oh, didn't like the video. You can see there are a lot of very high FPS on this too. So that is impressive. But yeah, if you want to hit that number of over 144, and you know, it's always better to be 144 plus, right? Not just 144, but you can get it done here with a 3070 Ti. So, folks, there you go. Just kind of showing you some different setups and what kind of FPS you would get if you had 1080p 144. I may do this for 1440p, and of course, check out not only the channel this is on, but the other one there, PC Hardware and Tech Unboxings. Tons and tons and tons of benchmark videos for FortNite, so you can get an idea of what it'll do. Of course, you know, some of the videos are older, so it's older seasons, but how much has it changed? That's one thing I haven't gone back to check because I don't, a lot of times, never run the same setup again. Thanks for checking out the video. Please like, please subscribe.